The sky above Earth was perfectly ordinary, blue, scattered with drifting clouds, aircraft contrails, and the quiet traffic of satellites, until without warning something appeared. It didn't descend. It didn't arrive with fire or sound. One moment the sky was empty, and the next something immense hung above Europe, so vast that its shadow spread across Paris, Berlin, and Warsaw like a second night. People stopped in the streets. Phones lifted. Traffic froze. And then every screen on Earth, every phone, television, laptop, and billboard, went black. 3 seconds later, a face appeared. It wasn't human. Its skin was pale gray, its 3 eyes arranged in a triangular pattern. When it spoke, the voice was calm and flawless in every language at once. People of Earth, my name is Supreme Adjudicator Kael'Ruth of the Stellar Concord. After long observation, your world has been selected for administrative integration. The message lasted 11 minutes. By the end, every government had received the same terms. Earth would surrender 40% of its natural resources. All military forces would be dissolved. Weapons would be handed over for destruction. A governor appointed by the Concord would oversee the planet. Humanity had 90 days to comply. Failure would result in pacification. No explanation followed. The colossal ship hovering above Europe explained enough. When the broadcast ended, the world erupted. News networks filled the airwaves. Social media collapsed under billions of frantic posts. Governments rushed into emergency meetings. Some people protested in the streets. Others prayed. Many simply looked up at the sky in stunned silence, trying to understand what had just happened. High Adjudicator Kael'Ruth watched it all from his command chamber, standing above the curved glass floor that revealed Earth turning slowly below. To him, the chaos was familiar. He had overseen 14 planetary submissions. The pattern was always the same: panic, argument, despair, and finally surrender. The Concord's analysts predicted a 97% chance Earth would comply. Humans were divided, emotional, technologically primitive. There was no real threat. But 3 days after the ultimatum, something unexpected happened. The noise stopped. Across the planet, the panic quieted, not into surrender but into focus. Deep beneath the Swiss Alps, inside a bunker absent from every public map, 41 people sat around a steel table. They were the leaders of Earth's Unified Strategic Defense Council, an organization formed quietly more than a decade earlier after humanity intercepted strange transmissions from deep space. Those signals had revealed 2 truths. Humanity was not alone, and some of its neighbors were not friendly. Admiral Lena Voss sat at the head of the table reading a report. 17 civilizations, she said calmly. Roughly 4,000 warships within range, advanced technology, but centralized command networks, and 2 centuries without real combat. She set the report down. They expect us to surrender. A general across the table leaned forward. And what are we actually going to do? Voss met his gaze. We're going to use the 90 days. From that moment on, the clock meant something very different to Earth than it did to the Concord. Human diplomats began negotiations immediately, not to accept the terms, but to ask questions. Endless, careful questions about measurements, transport procedures, and administrative details. Each required explanation. Each explanation created another delay. The Concord's diplomats found the questions tedious, but normal. Young civilizations often needed clarification. What they didn't realize was that the questions had nothing to do with understanding. They were buying time. Because far from the negotiation tables, something extraordinary was unfolding. Hidden facilities beneath Canadian iron mines, Kazakh salt flats, and Chilean mountains had been preparing for decades under a program called Project Meridian. Its origins stretched back 63 years, when a fishing vessel off Norway pulled a strange metallic object from the sea. The artifact wasn't human technology. It became the foundation of a secret research effort that slowly uncovered alien propulsion systems, materials, and communication signals. Piece by piece, humanity learned, quietly, patiently. The result was a fleet unlike anything Earth had ever built. 26 compact warships clad in reconstructed alien alloy and equipped with long antenna-like structures called signal arrays. Their true weapon wasn't missiles or lasers. It was software. A system called Helios, an artificial intelligence designed to infiltrate and disrupt the Concorde's communication networks. For 4 years, Helios studied intercepted transmissions, mapping the frequencies, synchronization patterns, and command hierarchies that linked every Concorde warship together. The fleet believed its network was unbreakable. It had never encountered anyone who understood it. By day 44 of the countdown, Helios had run thousands of battle simulations. The results revealed a brutal truth. Victory depended entirely on the first 30 seconds. And Earth could not wait for the Concorde to attack. The strike had to happen first, on day 89. While the enemy still believed negotiations were underway, when the 89th day arrived, the world looked strangely calm. People moved through their routines beneath the enormous alien fleet hanging silently above the planet. Diplomats exchanged their final documents. High Overseer Toller ate breakfast while watching the sunrise over Earth from orbit. Everything appeared orderly, exactly as expected. Then Helios activated. Without warning, synchronized electromagnetic pulses burst from Earth's hidden warships, submerged ocean arrays, and disguised satellites. The signals matched the Concorde's own communication frequencies, but subtly distorted them. In a single instant, 400 warships lost their shared awareness. Navigation systems showed contradictory data. Targeting computers desynchronized. Fleet communication collapsed into static. A perfectly coordinated armada suddenly became 400 blind, isolated ships. The disruption lasted 11 seconds, long enough. From behind the moon, 26 Terran warships ignited their engines and surged forward. The maneuver was not elegant. It was fast, aggressive, and irreversible. Instead of firing from a distance, Earth ships launched small magnetic boarding pods, each carrying 6 soldiers. The pods slammed onto alien hulls, tethering themselves like harpoons. 40 seconds later, human teams were inside. The Concorde's crews reacted quickly, but their training expected traditional combat, fleets exchanging fire across empty space. They had never prepared for humans sprinting through corridors in zero gravity. The soldiers ignored engines and weapons. Their target was always the same, the bridge. Within minutes, the first command deck fell. Across orbit, similar operations unfolded. Some ships were boarded. Others struggled to reboot their systems while Helios continued scrambling communications. When Concorde captains finally attempted to fire, their targeting locks collapsed before weapons could engage. Volleys flashed uselessly into empty space. Meanwhile, humanity broadcast the entire battle. Every signal, every boarding operation, every confused alien transmission was transmitted openly across deep space. Within hours, distant civilizations were watching. Species that had lived under Concorde authority for generations suddenly saw something impossible. A supposedly primitive world dismantling the galaxy's most powerful fleet without firing a single conventional shot. Back in orbit, the situation grew worse for the Concorde. More ships lost navigation. Others were seized entirely. By the 18th hour of the conflict, the alien commander faced a choice he had never imagined. He opened a direct transmission to Earth. "I wish to speak with whoever commands your forces," Admiral Voss answered calmly. "I'm guessing this isn't the conversation you expected." A pause followed. "No," the arbiter admitted. He asked a simple question. "How long have you known about us?" "Since we recovered your technology 63 years ago," Voss replied. "You just weren't paying attention." Silence stretched across the channel. Finally, he asked the question that mattered most. "What do you want?" Voss didn't hesitate. "We'll discuss it in person. Send your diplomats to Geneva." 48